Fashion and Luxury Investment Conference hosted by the Startup Club. I must apologize for the little delay in the starting of the session. It was a technical issue on my side. But now I'm very happy to welcome everyone to this latest edition of the Fashion and Luxury Goods Conference. If you want, you can leave your contact details in the chat. We can leave your LinkedIn, for example, or your name, or just like to start the networking if you're interested. So I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Mathilde, and I host pitch nights and investment conferences at the Startup Club on various topics, not only fashion, but also food tech and beauty tech and green tech. And what is the Startup Club? The Startup Club helps connect fundraising startups with investors and advisors that help them on their fundraising journey through our pitch events and our private investor meetings. And we help startups to reach their goals with pitch deck reviews, valuation reports, and valuation workshops. And we offer also different marketing activities across our network. And we are proud to have over 70,000 members in our online networks and over 50,000 investors around the world. And today's event is focusing on innovative fashion and luxury companies. And I am happy to introduce you to two companies tonight. The first one is called Studio 10, and it's a fashion house redefining fashion by focusing on creating authentic and transformative garments, blending quality, design, and consciousness. This company is represented by Sascha F, who will be pitching as the first one. The second one is called Geim, and it's a revolutionary solution to the fossil textile fiber problem, and it will be presented by Filip Matějka from Czech Republic. So I'm very happy and excited to have you here tonight, Sascha and Filip, and also the board members. Now, a few words about the format of the event. Each presenter has 7 minutes to pitch, followed by 15 to 20 minutes Q&A with the board members. And if someone in the audience has a question, you can either use the public chat, and I will try to read the question if we have time, or you can ask in a private message. And now I would like to welcome the three board members, and I kindly ask them for a short introduction. We have tonight, I'm happy to have Henriette Hessen from Verdane. We have Rohan from First Bridge Ventures, and Rebecca Sehlbach, who is with the Fashion Technology Accelerator. So Rebecca, would you like to introduce yourself first?
Sure. Hi, Mathilde. Good to see you again, and good to meet everyone. No, it's great to be here. I work at FTA as the head of operation, an accelerator focused on fashion tech specifically. So this event is definitely right up our alley. Been there for a couple of years supporting startups with a very kind of personalized acceleration program to really help them kickstart their market entry and first kind of growth period. I'm originally from Germany. Actually, moved around quite a lot in the last few years across Europe, the Americas, and Asia, and now ended up in Milan, which is definitely a hub for fashion and design. So I'm very happy to be here tonight, and looking forward to meeting these startups and getting to know more about them.
Great, thank you so much, Rebecca. Welcome, Rohan. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure, definitely. So I'm Rohan. Thanks for having me here. I work for a growth stage VC. We do tech and lifestyle investments. We're based in Paris. So what we do is we help European companies scale up and gain access to the Middle Eastern and Chinese market, which I think are two very big markets for retail and fashion, especially China, which is huge for luxury. We've taken two of our retail companies into the Chinese market with great success, and we really believe in helping people scale up or startups scale up into these geographies. So besides that, I have been working at the VC for 4 years. I'm currently based in Paris, and previous to that, I was living in Germany for asset manager, where I was working on large scale deals, very unrelated to fashion. But yeah, very eager to be here and very eager to learn more about the two different startups and yeah, how we can work together.
Great. Thank you so much. Welcome. And the third board member is Henriette.
Yeah, sure.
Hello.
I'll introduce myself as well.
Great.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes, perfectly. Great.
Perfect. Okay, yeah. So I work at Verdane, as mentioned previously. So Verdane is a growth investor investing across pan-Europe, focusing on tech-enabled growth companies that will thrive in a sustainable future. And we're actually a B Corp ourselves, so sustainability is really core to what we do. We've invested in 140 companies so far. We just raised a 1.1 billion euro fund. So I guess it's a bit on the growth to slightly later stage. Yeah, we have 7 offices across Europe. I focus personally on digital consumer. So we have a lot of notable investments in digital consumer, like within beauty, online marketplaces, and also digitally native brands. And I focus on fashion predominantly. And I guess my background before joining Verdane, I think now roughly 1.5 years ago, is from investment banking. So I lived in London for 9 years, did investment banking, and I also stopped working in investment banking to join an e-commerce startup focusing on luxury. So really passionate about luxury outside of work as well. And super exciting to hear about the startups.
Great. Thank you so much for all the introductions. Now, yes, we can go dive right in with the first startup. The first one is Sascha with the Studio 1.0. So hi, Sascha. You can, when you're ready, you can.
Hi, Matilda. Hi.
Hello, hi. Welcome.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, perfect.
So when you're ready, you can share your screen and you can start the pitch. And
perfect. You have to give me the approval that I can share my screen.
Okay. And there you go. Is it working now? Yeah.
Yeah. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes. It's not in full screen, but otherwise we
just a second.
Yeah.
Now?
Yes, it's perfect.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, hello everybody. I'm proud to present tonight Studio 1.0. My name is Sascha, and I'm the CEO of Studio 1.0. At Studio 1.0, we are committed to create a world of physical and digital fashion that's sustainable and innovative. Strategically, we are owning 2 brands, Genoric and Velasquez. Genoric is sophisticated and avant-garde, combining unique inclusive designs and digital innovation. Genoric is redefining luxury because the new era of fashion is not about status. It is about the story behind the brand, the impact it has, and the future it helps to shape. Velasquez, on the other hand, is loud, bold, and sexy, giving a strong platform to the LGBTQ community. And the brand aims to create responsibly to protect the planet. With digital products, both brands are reducing the environmental footprint, and physical products are only made from upcycled and recycled materials. Where the future be the change. Both brands were in several magazines, such as Vogue Italy, Fucking Young, and L'Officiel. I'm sure you know all of them. But where we're really proud of is that our brands are loved by a lot of superstars around the world, such as, for example, Miley Cyrus, Karol G, and J Balvin, And I'm sure you heard about tomorrow in Sevilla is the Latin Grammy Award. And you will find 5 celebrities dressed with our brands. Well, it makes us really happy. Talking about competition, as the fashion industry is changing, and while, as you can see, there's no shortage of impressive brands, true leadership demands a very bold approach. We're bringing together sustainable practices, digital fashion, influencer engagement, and a commitment to inclusivity to change the industry old habits. It's a very complex challenge, but for us, we are really excited to pioneer this new chapter. To summarize that, Studio 1.0 is sustainable by using mainly upcycled and recycled materials, and we are producing only in Europe. We will create digital fashion, and we are inclusive and diverse. Let's talk about the production process. When it comes to crafting our collections, every single step of the design and the development is in-house. We are ensuring highest quality in our products. For physical products, we are sourcing upcycled, recycled, dead stock materials, mainly in Europe. And our bulk production is in Italy and Portugal, while we are producing made to order here in Spain. Digitally, our digital products will be created mainly in Close 3D. It's where we design them, rig them, and skin them. And for AR experiences, we will use Snap AR. And of course, the minting from our NFTs is going to be on the Ethereum blockchain. And we're going to use, for example, OpenCI for that. OpenSea, sorry. Our traction is, Studio 1.0 was founded just 1 year ago. So we are a true startup. But this year was amazing for us because this year we acquired these 2 amazing brands with a heritage back to 2018. The brands were existing since 2018, but Studio 1.0 is just 1 year old. For 2023, we are on track to hit our revenue goal, which was 300 to 400. We're gonna hit 400,000 euro, mostly thanks to the legacy of Genoric. And in the beginning, without our brands, we offered design services, to be very transparent. But our vision caught an eye on a really big entertainment investor. So the investor is from the entertainment industry, and he loved our concept. That's why he invested 500,000 in our company already. And luckily, last week, we got 200,000 euro funding from the Spanish government. This is how we will create revenue in the future. We are selling directly to our customers through our e-com. This classically D2C, direct to customer. We are showcasing on fashion weeks, and we are working with PR showrooms. We're having an in-house social media team, and we are creating amazing content. And with this amazing content, we are targeting directly the customer through digital ads. Our digital fashion, we're gonna sell in platforms like the Fabricant or OpenSea. And what is the best way to spread our message about fashion with purpose, about the new tech in the industry? It's through a reality show. So our reality show takes you behind the scenes. And our show is not only informing about fashion, it's also boosting our brands by collaborating with international superstars. And you saw already we have a lot of them. And right now we are talking to Netflix and HBO. They really love our concept, and we are in negotiation to take this show on their platforms. Our focus next year is to finalize our digital fashion team in-house, release our first digital collection, and on top of that, we're gonna showcase our digital collection with Genoric in New York, September 2024. And with Velasquez, we're gonna go to London. From there on, we will enter the US market by 2025 and Asia by 2026. Our goal is to have at least roughly 20% from our revenue in the digital fashion by 2026. And looking into the future, by 2030, our goal is to become one of the market leaders. We were looking for 1 million euro, but we secured already 700,000. 500,000 was from the entertainment industry investor and 200,000 was from the Spanish government. Our goal is to close this round, so the gap of 300,000 by March 2024. And the funding is gonna use and will be gonna use, we're gonna invest in roughly 30% team, 30% production, 26 marketing, and 11% is gonna be diverse, like rent, payment costs, and logistics, all of that. As you can see, the next years is more about positioning the brands, growing more organically, having a good reputation in the market, and then the last 4 years, for 2026 to 2030, we are gonna scale the business. Talking about the team, me, myself, I'm born and raised in Frankfurt. I grew up in a textile family. I have a BA in sales and marketing. I'm a serial entrepreneur. This is my business number 6. And my biggest success was scaling a business 2 years ago from 1 million to 100 million with 300 employees. Then we have Javier Chiron. He is our creative director. He's a BA honored fashion designer with worldwide experience. He worked with Jeremy Scott, independent designers. He was even in fast fashion to generate experiences. And he was on the production side as well. Actually, we had a project together where we were together in the production side. And he was a teacher at the IED, was inspiring young students. And yeah, he is our creative mastermind. Sergi, on the other hand, is born and raised in Barcelona, has an MBA in marketing, was an actor, is a born entrepreneur. For me, is a marketing genius, a visionary, and he's in charge in our company when it comes to turning actually our ideas into reality. Mateo Velasquez, the owner of the brand Velasquez, has a master's degree from the Westminster University. Sure, you know that. He worked with icons in the fashion industry, at least for me, like Nicola Formichetti. And yeah, he's a born creative director, but he's as well for us is a moral leader. So he's really driven and relentless when it comes to changing the industry, especially the sustainable part. Last but not least, we have Akim and Bernard. Akim is born and raised in Montreal, Canada. BA in business management, optimizing data streams. He's a visual artist for seamless online experience. And Bernard, our CFO, he was the former vice president of JP Morgan. He's an investor as well, and he's our finance genius. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. We're happy to be here. My partners, Mateo, Sergi, and Javi are in here as well. So any questions, feel free to ask now.
Great pitch. Thank you so much, Sascha. Okay, we can now move to the Q&A part of the evening. So let's start with Henriette.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Sascha, for that. That's super helpful and really interesting with these two different brands basically catering to quite different and at the same time, in some cases, I guess, same customer groups. So yeah, I guess, so what I thought about is a bit around, I guess, just like who is your customer, because I saw like upfront where you compare yourself to the likes of, Peter Doe and Jacquemus. So like, who is kind of your bread and butter customer for the two brands?
Sergi, are you here?
Sergi is not here, but we can answer those questions.
Okay.
So for both of the brands, we have different established looks to both of them. So we're happy to say that we actually have a very wide variety of customers, because one of the brands has a completely different aesthetic to the other one, as one maybe has a bit of an older aesthetic and a more sophisticated one. The other one kind of like caters to the young people who are a little bit more rebellious. So the good thing of this is that we cater for both kind of like people, for these two personas.
I think it's also a customer that dares to try new things, that are not scared of the digital world, of the innovative part, and it's a very conscious buyer. So it's a person that thinks before consuming, before buying.
That makes sense. And is there like a difference in terms of like the AOV or the average order value that you've pictured for these two brands, like item prices and so on? Is there different price points?
There is different price points, that is true, but I would say in average they're more or less similar. So the only difference is Velasquez is really focusing on the environment, or let's say more than Generic, and especially with his strong voice in the LGBTQ community, it has to be affordable. Otherwise, it's not true, it's not real. And that's why Velasquez is slightly cheaper, but cheap is the wrong word. It's more affordable. Velasquez is more affordable than Generic, but as well, Generic is on the intersection between premium and luxury. So otherwise, the whole concept is not working.
That makes sense. And then in terms of the digital product, so it said like your ambition is to grow to 20% over the years. So is it sort of like connected to the physical product, or are those kind of two separate things? So would you design the same digitally as physically, or separate?
Well, the idea that we have is to go kind of like from physical to digital, and to give the customer also the opportunity and the chance to wear these garments also digital, or only digital. So what we do is we create the physical product first, and then we kind of replicate this in a high quality for digital. This is our goal.
Super interesting. And then in terms of like, would there be any like emblematic items that would kind of represent the very distinctness of each of the brands, or would it be more like a new collection every time, or would you kind of carry over elements from one collection to the next?
I think we can do both. I think we will carry elements from one collection to the other. Obviously, when you're creating a brand, the aesthetic of the brand and the whole world of the brand has to also reflect itself digitally. So we aim to both of those things. Of course, in the digital world, so you have more possibilities because garments in real life are limitless to how much you can do with them. In the digital world, you can spread a lot more than that. So that would kind of like allow us a bigger window to experiment and to make the world of each brand kind of like a wider variety.
That makes perfect sense. And then in terms of like marketing, so now you said like for the funding you're raising, there's like sort of the bigger part is going towards marketing, but like with this kind of influencer angle, do you think that like marketing will be an advantage over time, and that's going to be one of your good like lowered costs compared to competitors with all this exposure that you've been getting?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw it just recently with our capsule collection. Some influencers reposted. We didn't pay them. They did that because they love the brands, and we gained a lot of followers. A lot of users were trying to buy, but the capsule collection was mainly for visibility. So we didn't offer any selling. And yes, for sure. And especially in the combination with our reality show. So imagine, you be informed. It's, of course, reality show is a drama as well, but it's luxury, it's fashion, and you have a celebrity in that. It's a challenge. And combining all of that, and you mentioned before Jacques Mus, he himself is the influencer to me, at least, and that's why it's a part of him, and for me is why he's so successful. And we are thinking this from a different angle. And that is why, and we saw it, we pitched it in front of Netflix and HBO, and both of them, they won it, And yes, to answer your question, it's lowering our marketing costs on the long run for sure, because at the beginning you know that you have to invest. But it's gonna be a really good boost.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I thought it's like on that point on Simon from Jacquemus, I think it's very cool that like when I saw the team page of you guys, you kind of look very much in line with your brand. And if you see like, for example, the list index, like the brands that perform the best are the ones where the customer really resonates with the brand. So it's kind of cool that you all together, you know, look like the brand as well. Like Simon with Jacquemus, that he kind of lives the style. So I think this is a big plus for you guys.
Thank you.
I don't really have any further questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Henriette. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's ask Rebecca for her feedback.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for the presentation as well. Very, very interesting. And a couple of the questions that I had were already discussed now. But something that I was curious to know a little bit more about, since you do talk about the importance of the digital products as well for your value proposition and the whole kind of NFT aspect of things. Something that I was curious about, because if I remember correctly, you don't have a CTO in-house currently, right? So I was just wondering, do you plan on working with partners on the tech aspect, or are you planning on hiring additional team members with expertise in this area in the future?
Yeah, to answer that, both. We're planning both. So that's part of the funding. As you saw, part of the funding is going to the team, and we are hiring experts. I mean, Javier and Matteo, they can do close 3D, but for sure they're more traditional, and that's why we are hiring experts in-house. But as well, we are looking for collaborations and partners helping us, because for us as well, it's a pretty new field.
I think, sorry, I want to add into that. I think one of the most important things that we see with digital fashion right now is that most people who are working with digital fashion don't necessarily have the experience that fashion designers do. So what happens is that the digital fashion ends up looking a little bit not quite thoughtful and full on. So I think when you mix, you know, the skills of what's happening with digital right now and with skills of people who have been working in the industry of the fashion for many years, then you can kind of like have a very close to reality final outcome on the digital world, which is what we want to achieve.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, that makes sense. We've definitely seen that issue as well that you're mentioning. Sometimes the tech is a bit too techy and not fashiony enough, for sure. And then another question that I had, just because when you're showing the revenue projections, you can really see some pretty exponential growth for the period between 2026 and 30, I think, which I would say is usually most common for kind of highly scalable software SaaS kind of product. So I was curious for you guys who will at least maintain part of a physical product as well, which will be, you know, an important part of what you'll be doing. What is this projection based on? What is driving this exponential growth in your kind of expectations?
We were talking about Jacquemus, and I have another example, Marine Serre. Once you position your brand, and it takes 2 or 3 years, depends. And once the reality show in combination with influencers, celebrities is a success, you have a base to scale. That is why for us, the next 2 to 3 years is about positioning. It's about learning and exploring the digital fashion. And it's about, and this is key for us, because the scalability is more on the commercial products. Either it's gonna be in the digital world, but we don't know that yet. But the experience from us is we could scale in the commercial world. The challenge for us is finding upcycled, recycled, and dead stock materials, which allows us to scale, because otherwise we're not real to our concept. So to answer your question, is based on commercial products, the scalability after the positioning the brand, but the challenge is finding the right materials. The plan B is, or option B is, because no one knows that exactly, and I think Matteo described it perfectly. Once the industry understands how to work with digital fashion, of course, this is the most scalable, but we're not there yet. I don't have the perfect answer for you.
No, of course, that makes sense. I was actually thinking about the upcycled materials aspect as well, because often, of course, you don't have guarantee that you'll be getting exactly the same thing as well that you were using before, which I guess for creating larger batches would be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
No, okay, great. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, on that note, it is, I think at the end of the day, you know, there is billions and tons of clothing that is already are existing in the planet. So the challenge is not that the materials are not there. The challenge is where to source them from and how to get to them. But so far, as Sascha said, an example of marine serre is being proved that it can be done by other brands. So I think as long as other people start investigating and sort of like learning through that journey, then we can make that the norm, and we can establish that is a workable way of doing things, and it's a scalable way of doing things.
Exactly, as Matteo is saying, I believe that is, on one hand, educating people and the consumer to make better choices, and on the other hand, also get the suppliers and the factories used to work differently. And this, for us, the reality show is a platform where we can show that it can be done differently and more conscious.
Sounds great, yeah.
Just in addition to that, sorry, no, because it's true what Javi said, and we choose the reality show because we want to inform in a cool way, you know, no documentary because no one is gonna watch it, not a wide audience.
Right. No, of course that makes sense. Final quick question from my side is about the business model. I was just curious if you foresee kind of including additional revenue streams in the future, especially maybe related to the digital products. I was just curious what your plan is for that.
I didn't get that, sorry. What can we include, or should we include?
No, I was just wondering in terms of your revenue streams, which I guess in the beginning will mostly be the sales of products. I was wondering if especially related to the digital products, if you're foreseeing any additional revenue streams or recurring revenues related to this as well, or if you're planning on mostly focusing on the kind of direct to consumer sales of products.
For now, we are focusing on products, direct to customer. Of course, if we are showcasing in New York or London, there are gonna be buyers like concept stores, and we're trying to find a way like, okay, if you go in a concept store and in combination with AR, maybe you can try in a digital mirror, you know, our garments, and then can buy it. So this could be an additional revenue stream, but we are in talks with that. So because the digital mirrors are not scalable right now, as far as I understand, but this could be part of it. But at the end, it will always be products, physical and digital.
Okay, great. No, that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. And now let's hear from Rohan.
Yeah. Well, the problem of going last is that almost all the questions you want to ask have already been asked. So but I still have a few that I still had in mind. So what do you think are some of the biggest challenges you'll be facing in the next 2 to 3 years? Because I believe you touched on the sourcing part. So we've seen that sourcing, especially upcycled materials, is a competitive market. So how do you address that? And what are some other challenges?
I mean, Matteo said that already. The problem is not that we don't have enough garments. I read somewhere the other day that if we stop producing today, we have enough garments to address the world's population for the next 50 years. So the challenge is to build that process, challenge number one. But of course, we always have a plan B. So if this is not scalable, we could produce eco-friendly fabric. But we are trying to stick. At the end, we're a business. We have to make it work. So this is plan B. But our focus is to build the process for upcycled materials. So this is a challenge, but I think we can solve it. Another challenge is, of course, to build digital fashion, digital collections. Like, I mean, those two are the one of the most great designers I have ever met. I'm sure they can make it, but it's a challenge because we are more traditional. We have a more traditional background. So to me, and Javi and Matteo, please add, to me, this is one of the biggest challenges because especially because it's really new. But I believe in that, and especially I have young kids, and I can see already for them it's important, you know, their Fortnite account or Roblox and how to dress in the metaverse, you know. So things are really changing. But to build that, like this is that it's actually look like a garment and fits to the brand, this is the challenge.
I mean, I have some also seen already, you know, there are different companies like DressX that are also trying to, you know, use that platform to showcase their digital clothes. But in my opinion, that is not high quality enough. You know, I would love to have the tools to create really high definition garments that are digital, where you can see the textures, where you can really see there is no difference between the physical and the digital clothes while I'm speaking to you right now. So for me, this is kind of like the future when you really can, you don't see any difference. And for me, could be the future because, you know, if you go to the street and you wear yourself on a good day, you will see maybe 50, 100 people. But if you go online, there will be millions of people watching you. So so for me, this is kind of like the challenge to make it very high quality and high definition.
I think the biggest challenge in all of this is that we're embarking on a journey that is completely new, that the fashion industry and the whole world in general is shifting to a digital era, and not only a digital era, but we're also moving towards more sustainable choices and ways of life. So we will face a lot of challenges, as we say, you know, the sourcing, there is also the educating the customer, there is also the educating the manufacturing. The whole fashion industry is kind of like built up in a system that it's very broken and it's not working anymore. So we have to reshape all of that, and we have to educate the factories to start working in different ways, and we start to educate the consumer as well. And the same thing happens with the digital. We have to tell the consumer how to consume digitally and how does this work, because most of people don't actually know what it means to own a digital garment or to have an NFT. So educating and reshaping this whole thing is really the biggest journey. But I think because of people like us, it has to start happening, and we have all the tools to get there and to start this change in fashion and society in general.
Got it. That's very, very cool to know. So is it possible for me to buy the product on the website itself? Because I have been trying to be able to purchase the items, but I was not able to, and it always goes onto a different website. It always goes onto the respective website of Njornig and Velasquez. Is that something that you're looking to change, or is that just something that's going at the moment, or?
Yeah, we're just, Akim is on that, because we are expecting our garments in the next 2 weeks. And after that, you can buy.
Okay.
So feel free if you want a piece.
Oh, I actually saw a couple that I was like, I would love to actually see when they're back online. So yeah, could potentially be buying them. So another thing, is there a reason for entering the US market in 2025 before Asia? Because I know that the US is a highly competitive market.
The main reason, and to be very honest, we're discussing it internally, because the main reason was because of our reality show, and we have some potential celebrities entering our reality show. And Netflix and HBO said, okay, if we can sign those celebrities, and I cannot tell you the names, it would be cool if we bring that to the US. And then, as this is the case, or if this is the case, we thought, okay, this could be the perfect moment. But on the other hand, we are talking to just digital influencers, especially from Japan and South Korea. And working with them, doing a call up. So if depends now, either we're going in direction in the SM market with big celebrities or digital influencers, Asia. So, but I can answer you that in the next 4 to 8 weeks, roughly.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, you mentioned the Netflix show, so I think that's a super cool idea, and one of the fastest ways to grow your audience. I was actually recently watching the show Sex Education, and some of the outfits that they were wearing there were just great. And I wanted to buy a few of them, but I was struggling to find where to be able to buy them. So how would you be able to solve that problem? Because how would you be able to make it so that people, when they see an episode, they like an outfit and they're able to purchase it online immediately after?
So from the commercial point of view, it's very simple. It's going to be a challenge between Genoric and Velasquez. And the challenge is to dress Mrs. X. I cannot tell you the name right now, but this is the challenge. So you will know the brand. You will know that we are talking about Velasquez. You will see Mateo and you will see Javier in the reality show. It's a true reality show. It's no actress. So the simplest way is to Google Genoric and then you find the garments. How we connect that between Netflix to find on the techie side, I cannot answer you that, but Sergi could, but I think he's not here, right? Javi?
Well, actually, sorry, for some reason I've been rejected from my laptop. I don't know why. But yeah, actually we are not as Sascha said, we are the reality show is really focused on the two brands, no, the two brands we own. So there are not other names that Genoric and Velasquez. So if you really want to wear a piece that you are seeing in the reality, you need to go straight forward to the website, and it's the only way you can find it. And the other part that we are going to show, maybe we'll do some collaborations as well. So we will be dressed with another designers, but it's something that you maybe see in the credits or something like that. So it's not going to be a mistake that you cannot find the piece that you want.
Okay, got it. And I think my final question is, so you're gonna enter US, and you're gonna enter Asia, and by 2030 you're expecting to do, I think, what was it, close to 100 million revenues. So what I wanted to know is, how do you foresee an exit for the brand?
That's a very good question. I mean, as we are just starting, is very hard to answer you in detail. But for us, the challenge is going to be: are you buying the fashion house, or Studio 10, or are you interested in just one brand like Velasquez or Genoric? So let's see. I don't know, to be honest. It's too early. But what I saw in a couple of other businesses I built was, since you're scaling, you will find solutions to do the exit. It's always like that. But today is too early, to be very honest.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, I was just, as a growth VC, we always look at exits, but I think at an early stage, you're still looking at building out the product. That makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I am out of questions. Thank you so much for your answers, and especially about the Netflix thing. I think the Netflix thing is super cool.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rohan. There is a question in the chat from Andrew Marshall. And maybe we can take that last question and then we'll move to the next pitch. What is the strategy going forward to add other brands and leverage your strengths?
Yes, as well, we discussed it internally a lot. Since we are building under the umbrella of Studio 10 a community, there is the possibility to add in the future another brand. But we said we're going to focus for the next 2-3 years on our own brands. We're going to focus on the reality show. We're going to focus on digital fashion. Next to everything else we do, like we're going to showcase in New York and London and all of that. And so we don't have the final decision if we are adding new brands. And since we don't have that, we don't have a strategy for that.
Okay. Okay, thank you. There wasn't one more last question. How did you manage to get the deal with Netflix? It's a question from Claire Kent.
This is through our production company. And you need to know that we are in negotiation. So we have an offer from Netflix and HBO, and we didn't sign yet because we're not sure. And we're negotiating with them. It's at the end we are a business, and we want to make sure that it's the right platform, because some in the team are saying Netflix, the others say HBO. We're discussing with our investor, so we didn't sign the deal. That's important to know, because we have these two offers, and the how we got there is the production company who is actually producing our reality show. They put us in touch. It was very simple, and this is the business for them. They knew exactly what to do.
Okay, great, thank you. Another question from Mark Jennings. What is the ask? How much do you need to raise? You're muted.
Sorry, 300,000.
300,000.
So
Okay.
so this entire round is 1 million. We secured already 700,000. 300,000 left.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, thank you so much. It was really interesting. We will move to the second pitch now. So thank you guys. It was really cool to hear about your business.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matilda.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. So then let's move to the second pitch with Filip Matějka and the company Geim. Hi, Filip, are you here?
Hello. Yes. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, we
Can you see me? Yeah. Perfect.
Yes,
Perfect.
see you perfectly. So whenever you're ready, you can share your screen and you can start your pitch.
Yes. Perfect. So just let me share the screen. Just a moment. To be honest, I'm first time in Zoom, so I had to find where to share the screen. Can you help me with that? Just to navigate me.
There's a green button.
Okay. Yeah. I see it now. Okay. Okay, I have to restart. Sorry for the Zoom for the permissions. Some problems. So just give me a minute, please. I'm sorry for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, one more check. Can you hear me? See me?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so thank you again for having me. My name is Filip, and I'm the CEO and founder of a company called Geim, and be introducing a revolutionary sportswear that solves the problem of plastic fibers used in a sportswear. Basically, in a short summary, we are a brand that combines science, technology, sustainability, and we invented our unique material, which combines organic fabric with graphene. Graphene is a carbon-based material. It's a nanomaterial, Nobel Prize winning, and with this combination, we can offer maximum performance while minimizing the environmental social impact. We have 5+ years of experience with the development. We have the material, we applied for the patent in the US and EU, and we have completely local production here in Czech Republic, which is from the research to production of the products. What we do, we aim for the transforming the sports industry into the sustainable one. We do it because the transformation is taking place globally, and there is no solutions for the sportswear industry whatsoever, or what we know so far. And we are still in the development and the our premise of the bulk production is based on the April 24, but it depends on many variables. So what the problem definition is that we mainly try to solve the environmental health risk of these synthetic plastic fibers. We mainly focus on three main problems. First is the microplastics, the greenhouse gases, and the negative properties of the synthetic materials like skin irritation, allergic reaction, and so on. For example, for the microplastic, there are also studies that shows that BPA particles, which are fossil fuels monomers, that are already in the global brands products like t-shirts and so on, and these studies show that these particles have effect on hormonal functions and development of cancer, for example. So this is something we try to solve with our product. So our solution is really simple. We develop the material and produce products that are non-toxic sportswear that offers a high range of properties and minimizing or eliminates all of the plastic fibers. So it's basically organic fabric like cotton or wool, combining with the graphene liquid, which we apply on the surface of the fabric. So why choose our products? So not only the non-toxic and non-plastic fibers, but also has a high range of properties. It has highly efficient and uniform heating thanks to the graphene. It has really high mechanical strength. It has high UV protection, efficient thermal dissipation, antibacterial properties, and of course the non-toxic and no usage of the synthetic fibers. And we applied for the patent, as I mentioned before. We mainly focus on the Czech market. It's our local market, so we know it the best. It's €1 million market already. We focus, so the size of the market is around 52 million euros based on the data from the last year. Our strategy, or how we want to penetrate the market, is mainly we will focus on the Prague and Brno. It's the biggest cities in Czech Republic. Prague is the capital city. Our customer is people from 30 to 49 age. They are upper middle class, outdoor enthusiasts, and of course they have strong relations to sustainability. And based on data, there are around over 500,000 people altogether. We will mainly focus on our e-commerce or e-shop. We will focus on the social media, PR, and growth hacking to build the brand awareness. We will focus on the retail partners and marketplaces. And also we want to build TV advertising in 2025, just in the Czech market, but we want to expand as fast as possible. In our strategy is to expand in 2025. So we are not going just for the Czech market. Our business model is really simple. We sell sportswear products through B2C, B2B channels. Our main channel is e-shop, which we want to try to maintain maximum profit control over the marketing. We will make a cooperation with resale partners. We already have some resale partners in negotiation in Czech Republic and also in Italy and Austria. And maybe it might be also in the Dubai, but it's a smaller partner. And also we want to use the marketplaces, which are really great, how to increase the brand awareness. And with the right strategy, we can reach the million of users, and there are like no entry fees. So it's a great strategy for the entry. For the product pricing, the product pricing is based on the combination of cost-oriented and skimming models. The gross margin for right now is 47%, but we believe that with optimizing the production and this economy of scale, we expect to grow to 55%. The average product price is 165 euros, and we position ourselves as a high-priced, more luxurious and innovative brand with emphasis on high quality and detail. So like no cheaper brand, but we try to be like the higher brand with high quality. Our competition is like a bigger competition. If we mention the bigger brands, they use the commonly materials like Adidas, Columbia, but these are like the secondary competition. But the main competition is there are two, the Graphene X, which are the biggest brand right now with the graphene products, but they have a little bit different technology. They don't use the liquid as we use, but they use yard. But they combine the yard with the synthetic materials like polyester. So they use still the synthetic materials. And the G Plus company, they are more focus on their own research. So they are not like sportswear brand. They just made some few products which try to penetrate the market, but it's not like a brand. So the main competition right now is the graphene, and of course there is Devolt, for example, which they have the which is the biggest one of the wool, but you know. It's not like wool is not the best also for the sportswear. It has some limitations. So why we are better? We have certified graphene liquid. It's certified by Oecotex. We have complete local production. We have patent pending. We have the organic non-toxic material. The products itself has a high range of properties, and the business is really scalable because the liquid can be used basically on any surface, and we can scale the business not only for the clothing, but we can scale it up for the other products in the future. So how the products are made? The production process is not that hard for the first look, but it's really complicated. But in the beginning, we have to prepare organic carrier fabric. So it will be cotton or wool. It has to be specially prepared for application. So it's not like we just buy it somewhere, but we have to prepare it with a partner. Then we make the coating, which is the graphene liquid. We apply it under specific conditions on the entire surface of the fabric with a special printing machine. Then it goes to the production, where we do the products and the finishing, logo printing, labels, and so on, the finishing stuff. Project timelines, the business foundation was 2017. There was already some first steps in development, but what we did, we created a collection of products from basic commonly materials to master the entire manufacturing process, to get to know how it works in the fashion. But we were already developing the materials. So we had the first crowdfunding campaign in Czech. We received around 18,000 euros in pre-orders. Then we moved to 2020 and COVID arrived. So the COVID stopped the production and we had to reallocate everything to Czech Republic. So we started to develop a new material, which is the current material. We established major strategic partnership with the Czech company, which they do the research and development of the graphene. And so far in the early 2023, we have first working prototypes. We did the rebranding, so new logo, new name, and finalized our designs of our products. And then in the middle of 2023, we had another crowdfunding campaign in Czech for another validation. We received 2,022 thousand euros worth of the pre-orders. And now we are in the stage that we are finalizing the development and we are searching for the right strategic partner to launch the business, which we expect to launch in the next year, in the first half of next year. Financial projection. We need an investment of 600,000 euros to launch the business. We offer 15% equity based on our calculations from our financial plan. The NPV value is based on 1.24 million euros. The IRR, the rate of return, is based or calculated for 65%. The weighted average cost of capital is calculated for 8.77%. And the revenue growth we expect to reach in 5 years to 10 million euros, but not just in Czech Republic, but globally for altogether for all the markets. Net profit growth, we expect that we will be break even in 3 years. As you can see, so second year will be not positive, but in the 3 years we expect that we will be positive. And the cash flow, as we can see, there is like growth trajectory in the cash flow. In 5 years, will be around 64 million euros in cash flow. And use of funds, we will mainly use the money for the production, so about 245,000 euros. Also, we'd use it for marketing, salaries, and the Kickstarter campaign will be necessary to do or a big step how to reach all the markets, especially in the US and the Europe. So we planning to do the Kickstarter campaign in the late 2024, so next year, and this will be also in the use of funds. Our team members, it's me. I graduated from University of Economics in Prague. I have a really rich experience in managing e-commerce project with a turnover over 10 million euros. Right now, I'm managing another brand in Czech Republic with turnover over 10 million euros, and I'm responsible also for the management of foreign expansion. My colleague Lucas is graduated also from the economics in Prague. He has his own marketing agency, so fast-growing digital solutions. He has big expertise in integrating data technology and human expertise to improve the business outcomes. So we will use his company for our marketing activities and sales activities. And the Emmanuel is he's graduated from Newton College. He has high experiences in build branding. He is kind of rich, famous person in Czech Republic. He has hundreds of thousands of people on social media, and he is really focused on the brand building and the content strategy and marketing strategy. And he has really, really rich experiences with this. This is for me, everything. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time. And I'm open for discussion and questions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Filip. All right, let's start the discussion with Rohan this time as a first.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. So great. Thanks for the presentation. As someone who's into sports and like into kind of this kind of wear, this looks like a very, very cool product that I would love to wear myself. I just want to understand, how do people come to know about your brand? What is the sales and marketing strategy, like the GTM strategy, basically?
Well, we are not yet like selling the product, so we are still in the development. We are not selling the products yet. So, but we have strategy, as I mentioned in the slides before. For the Czech market, we'll penetrate through the marketplaces, our eShop. We'll just go there back. Pricing. Yeah, so for the Russian market, for the Czech market, we will go through the e-commerce. So we will go through our eShop. So performance marketing on the social media, for the PR, for the growth hacking. So we will bring awareness. The strategy is to build the brand in the next year, because we believe that with a bigger brand or brand awareness, it's much better to build in the like a longer term than just going for sales. So this will be our main strategy, to build a brand, to build awareness around our products, to communicate our vision and mission. And we also, for the physical presence, we will use the retail partners, because it will be necessary to show the customers our products in physical presence. They need to see it, they need to touch it, need to see the products. So for the scaling the business, we will use the retail partners, which we already are in the negotiation in Italy and Austria, as I mentioned. And we will also use the marketplaces. I have lots of experiences in the other brand with the marketplaces, and this is like great channel how to penetrate the market with like zero cost at the beginning. So
okay,
like yeah.
Okay, got it. But you mentioned a couple of times, so you're working, or you have a brand that's doing 10 million in revenues. Can you explain a bit more about that? Like, what exactly is the brand, and like, is there any synergies between that and this one?
Oh, no. It's like a different company. It's just a company that I'm helping them to they are also fashion. But it's a Czech brand. And I guess you don't know it, Bushman, but it's a Czech brand. They have the revenues over 10 or 11 million euros. Oh, sorry, yeah, million euros. Yeah, and I'm helping them with the expansion, with the managing of the e-commerce online business. And I'm like, my position is there. It's like head of e-commerce, and I have under me like many people, and I'm managing the foreign expansions, and I'm responsible for the budgeting and everything around this. So and the business is really similar to us, or basically it's the fashion business also. So I have lots of experiences in the fashion. I know all the process, and I think that this is also helpful in building our brand.
Okay, got it. You also said that you had 18,000 in pre-orders in 2019. So have you already sold those? Have you already sold previously, or there hasn't been any sales at the moment, and everything starts from next year?
Yeah, for the first campaign, we already sold it. For the first campaign, we sold for the 18,000 euros. We send them to the customers, and for the second crowdfunding campaign, we raised around 22,000 euros, and they are still in the process. So they are not sent yet, but we have the money, we have the cash flow, so we sold them to the customers. So it's like a real orders. It's like pre-orders, to be honest.
Okay, got it. And it's said that you would be expecting to do 600K in your first year. So you expecting to do 600K next year, or?
Sorry, one more time. What was
So it said in the revenues in your first year of operations, you do 600,000 euros. So I'm guessing that would be next year because that would be the first year, right? How?
Yes,
can you
exactly.
explain how you expect to do 600 in your first year itself?
Well, the funding, this 600,000 will not be like used in the first year. It will be used in the next like 2-3 years. We have it in the financial plan, but so you're asking how we will bring the revenue to 300,000 or?
No. So I think in your slide on the revenue,
Yeah,
it said year one, 600K.
Okay, sorry, I just go there just to be sure. Here, okay. Yeah, well, it's based on the not also just the our marketing in Czech Republic, but there is also the Kickstarter campaign where we expect to collect or reach around 500,000 euros in the Kickstarter campaign.
Okay.
So this is like the main part of this 620,000 euros for the first year.
Okay.
Because the competition, the Graphics, they had like couple Kickstarter campaigns and they collected like a load of money, if I can say. So we believe that we have our own possibilities to reach the customers also there. So
Okay.
the quick part is Kickstarter, yeah.
Okay, got it. And do you expect to be profitable in the first year and then go negative? Because the next slide said that you were achieving profitability in year one and then going negative. So if I understand correctly, what happens there?
Because this is based on the Kickstarter, because the Kickstarter will go in the end of next year, and we will create the products like after that. So in the financials, it will be negative the next year after, because we will not create the products right after the campaign, but after the next year. So in the financials, it will be based. It will be shown like a negative. But if you understand me.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah. So my final question is, you are so do you also plan on having accessories coming out? Because I mean that's a good way to get higher margin products and increase your AOV. Is there a plan to start producing accessories as well? And if so, do you know what you would want to produce?
Yeah, for sure, but we didn't think about the accessories yet. But we will, as we want to scale the business and scale the products portfolio, we will scale to accessories. Of course, we are also striving for digital incorporation. We've already had, or what we believe in the future, and for the future trajectory, we want to make digital products, meaning that we want to incorporate digital unit into the products. And because the graphene itself, the material is electrical conductivity, it has electric conductivity, so we want to integrate it and build digital products. But for the accessories, yes, but we didn't have any plan what exactly we will do for the next year. We will focus mainly on the products, like on the sportswear in the beginning.
Okay.
But as we focus for the outdoor, so mainly on the mountain hiking, this is like the main focusing in the beginning, and we believe that there is like potential. So it might be accessories for this purpose of the hiking in the mountains.
Okay, got it. I think it's an interesting product, and I think a lot of it will be riding on the Kickstarter that you'll be doing. So I wish you the best of luck with the Kickstarter, and I hope everything goes well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rohan. Okay, let's hear the feedback of Rebecca now.
Sure. Yeah. First of all, thanks for the pitch. I think it was very, very good. It addressed a lot of the relevant topics already that I was curious to know more about. Something that I wanted to just ask, and you touched on this just recently, just a little bit. What type of sports are you imagining on providing sportswear for? So what kind of sports would it be mainly meant for? Is there any types of sports that you wouldn't be able to cater to with these types of products, maybe now or also in the future? Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes, good question. Yes, for sure. We mainly focus for the outdoor. It will be for men and women, so there's like no differentiation. We will focus on both, so men and women. And for the first in the beginning, we want to focus on the outdoor. So it will be like the hiking, the mountain hiking, not like exactly like cycling or something like this, but we just want to focus on the people who go to the mountain and who spend there some time. And they want like the highest functional materials, and they are also focused on the sustainability. So we want to, the crossroads are the people who are outdoor enthusiasts and who like believe in the sustainability, and they are like customers that they cannot wear the synthetic fibers because of some skin irritation. They have allergic reactions to that, so there's like big community for this. And also for people who wear or who loves to wear wool, merino wool for the outdoor activities. But the wool, merino wool, is really weak in the fibers, and so there is like a big potential of this, because with the graphene we can enhance the mechanical resistance to really high. So with combination of wool and graphene, it can be like another customer group for this where to penetrate our products. But the main focus is the mountain and the hiking.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And in terms of products or product categories, it's mostly kind of tops, jackets, pants, or what kind of what's the vision there for the beginning?
Yes, the beginning is, as you mentioned, the t-shirt, pants, jackets. We want to also do based on the accessories, so there will be bags, for example. And maybe in the future maybe shoes, but it's not like necessary from the beginning. And basically we want to make the complete structure for the people, so from the bottom to the top. There will be also hoodies and this kind of stuff, but mainly focus is a jacket and the pants and the t-shirt, because the properties of graphene will be the best in these type of products. Because for example, the socks might be cool, but it's not like the best advantage of the graphene for the socks.
No, that makes sense. Very cool. And then I was curious, you did mention the 2 crowdfunding campaigns, but beyond that, I wanted to know in terms of funding, because I imagine the R&D for this was probably kind of costly. Have you had any external investment or funding, or has this been bootstrapped so far, in addition to the crowdfunding campaigns, of course?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good question. No, we don't have any like investors or something like this. Everything we funded from our money. So we already put our money over 50,000 euros from our funding, and we also have a bank loan worth of 45,000 euros. So this is like the main funding for the project. So we didn't have any external investors. Everything is our money and the bank loan which we were loaned last year.
Okay, great. And then you did mention a prototype, and I wanted to ask, what was the feedback on this? Did you have any feedback of things that you had to adjust, or was it mostly positive? Were there any kind of interesting learnings coming from that?
Yes, in the first campaign, we had the material with a little bit different technology, and there were really big problems with mechanical of the yarn which we used before. The yarn was really thin and not that strong, so it braked a lot while the people were wearing. So this is why we invented the new technology, the new material, and so far we're receiving while it didn't test like that many people yet, but we had some also the laboratory tests, but also in the outdoors, and so far we have a great results. The people see that even though it's cotton, there's like great, like for example, the heat dissipation. Like people don't sweat it that lot, like in cotton. The product, you can wear it like for many days, like for 3-4 days, and it doesn't like stink. So the antibacterial properties are really good. The mechanical resistance is really high. We did some laboratory test. That is, the mechanical strength is 3 times higher than for the Kevlar, for example. So this is like another great thing from the graphene. So yeah, so far we have great results and feedbacks, but we didn't give it to many people yet. It has to reach the market first, and then we will collect the feedback. But with the first technology in 2019, we had really great feedback for the heat dissipation, for the sweating, like log sweating. But there were many problems with the mechanical resistance, which we got better with the new technology.
That's great to hear. And my final question, of course, this is, you know, a very real kind of need and problem in the market. And I wanted to understand, why do you think no one else has really been able to tackle this problem yet? Of course, there's a couple of competitors that you mentioned, but why do you think this opportunity is still there as much as it is?
Well, based on research, we didn't find any competition in terms of what we do, meaning that combining the organic textile with something that improves the properties of the material. And we of course applied to patent. So this is like a big protection for us. Nobody can use it in the same way. So yeah, the only competition, as I mentioned, is the Graphenics, which they use a different technology. So I think in terms of sustainability, there is lots of greenwashing on the market. They like with the recycling polyester and this kind of stuff, which is not like really big into the sustainability. It's just some marketing stuff. So we believe that our products is really suitable for the problem with the plastic fibers. And as we did the research, we didn't find any like close competition what we do basically. So
cool,
we believe in that.
Great. All right, thank you so much. That was all the questions I had.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. And yes, and let's now hear from Henriette.
Yeah, thank you so much, Filip. Super interesting company. And I have quite a lot of questions, so I'll try to be quick. Very interesting questions as well so far, and good answers. But I was kind of just wondering, like with the background, like, so you know, you're like now helping another like brand, and like how come you like, because I mean, like how did you kind of end up in this space in graphene? Like what kind of drew you to it initially?
Yeah, it's a long story. I'm not sure if I can make it in just a few minutes. Well, we started as a basic company in 2017. We just, with my friend, we love the fashion, we love the fashion industry, we love the sustainability, everything around this, and we just wanted to start a brand. We wanted to start a brand, fashion brand, or like a sportswear brand, and try the process. But after like 1 year, my colleague left the company, so I had to choose what to do next. And my nature is that I love inventions. I love to do like something big and like that has real values for the society, let's say. So I started like searching based on the sustainability. I started searching for some like materials which can be different from the market, and I knew about the graphene, and I found a company in China. So it was like in the first place in 2017 was in China. So I went to China in my 25 years old for the negotiation for the first material. We did some prototypes, we did some development, and this was like the beginning with the graphene. They were basically the first on the market with the graphene material in the textile. So we started with them, but as I saw that the China industry is not that best for us for the sustainability, and I wanted to have everything local here in Czech Republic. So this was the thing that we like reallocate everything into the Czech market, and it was like luck that we found a strategic partner in Czech Republic. They have a unique patented process of creating the graphene, which is really like ecocentric. They use it on the water-based, but it's like more in a more chemical way. It's a water-based, and we established a strong partnership and started to develop our vision. So this was like, in a short story, we started from like just from an idea. I saw a video in 2018 video with graphene, and there was like idea, oh, it sounds interesting. Graphene is really nice material. It's been using also in batteries in Tesla, in IBM, is really penetrating the market, but the graphene is still expensive, so it's not like commercial yet. But I believe that graphene will like change many industries, not only textile. But it's just the beginning. It's a really expensive and hard to develop right now, but companies like Tesla and IBM and so on are already using it, or Samsung, for example, in their products. So I believe that this is the way, and yeah, so we believe in that. And from the results we have, it's actually possible to bring to the market like a new form of material which can change the textile.
Yeah, super interesting. And that's actually kind of my second question is like on the material and the production technique, because you touched upon it, that it's, you know, it's obviously a super material, but then it's super like costly at commercial scale so far. So kind of how is the cost of production, and in terms of the production technique, because you mentioned it's a liquid, is it like 3D printed onto the garment, or like how do you kind of combine the, like, let's say merino wool with the liquid? Just understand it a bit better.
Yeah, I might be change the slide to the process. I just find it here. Yeah. Oh, so we basically take the organic fabric like cotton or the wool, and the liquid is the application of the liquid is based on the, or is made on the printing machine. So it's not like 3D printing, but we have a big machine, or our partner have a big printing machine, which there is a fluid in this, and on the machine there are like special heads, let's say the printing heads, which under specific conditions, under pressure, is like pressuring the fluid onto the material on the whole first surface, and with the pressure it's going through the yarns, and it's like enhancing the material. So yeah, so it's not like 3D printing, but it's a little bit close to the printing, the silk printing, I think. I just forgot the name, but yeah, so basically it's not like 3D printing, but it's a little bit different technique.
And then
and
like
then
in terms of the, oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, then there has to be some finalizing, like catalyzations, with meaning that we have to apply high temperature to make a bond with the liquid and the fabric, because while you do the washing machine, it has to be able to withstand the mechanical resistant or the mechanical things in the washing machine. So this is like there is like many physical and chemical variables we have to attach, and this is why we did the patent, because it's not like easy to create the material. It's really, we did it like 3 years and we still see what to get better. So yeah, it's a really tough task.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then in terms of like, so for the funding need, I think it said 245,000 to production. So how much like product would that get you, or is that to kind of buy the liquid, or like what do you kind of envisage from those proceeds?
Yeah, well, the gross margin is around 47%. It's like the average.
Yeah.
I would have to show the cost of the goods sold, the financial plan, because it's hard to bring the numbers like right from my head. But basically the liquid makes, let's say, like 15% of the price, something like this, just from my head. I think this is the most expensive thing on the material is the graphene liquid. Yeah. But with some processes, yeah, sorry. Yeah, but I just want to say that with optimization and the economy of scales, we can like decrease the price of the liquid in time. So it's possible, and we're working on that. But we just need to launch the business and scale up the production.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was just thinking, like, because you said I think the product was costing 165 euros or something like that. So it just sounded like not so expensive compared to, you know, merino wool being quite expensive and graphene, you know, at this scale, basically. It sounds a bit like cheap.
Yeah, it was
for the
average.
cost needed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we can go higher with the price, but and the Czech market is really sensitive on price, so we have to find the right way how to penetrate it. Yeah, the average is 165, but so let's say the t-shirt will be around 40 euros, like 100 euros for t-shirt. So it's not like the cheapest. I think like many people can say expensive, but and for a jacket, for example, we have around 300 euros. So it's like, or 325. So this is the average, but we can go high, of course, but we need to keep the strategy, because for the Czech market, I think in the foreign markets, in Italy and maybe Dubai, we can go much higher with the prices. And once we build the brand, I think once we will be the bigger brand, the more known brand, we can go high with the prices and get the gross margin higher. I'm sure we can do it.
Makes sense. I was very happy to see that you mentioned Devold, actually, because I'm from Norway, and they have a very good heritage in Norway in wool production. But I also thought of, like, I'm not sure if you come across the brand called Houdini from Sweden, which also does a lot of material innovation. And I mean, their products are priced at least twice of your prices, and I think the materials are like not graphene, right? So I think you could definitely push the price a bit. But I understand also the point on the Czech Republic and, you know, what that customer then, you know, would want to pay. But for the international expansion, for sure, like, I think there's a lot of other brands as well as like Satisfy Running, which does a lot of material innovation. I think their merino wool t-shirts are 300 euros. So I think there's a lot of upside on the pricing. And then I was just wondering, like, so how do you kind of see your company? Is it like more a material company, or is it more a product company? So if you think of a brand like, you know, the Pangaya, for example, they have a D2C brand to test out new materials. So do you kind of see the outdoor as like a way to test the material, and then you're a material company, or are you like an outdoor clothing company but with a good material? Like, how do you kind of balance that?
Well, I love science. I love everything about the development. So I think I want to be like more material oriented, but not in that way that we would only sell the material. I want to be a clothing company. Maybe scale the business in the future, not only for the clothing, but for further portfolio. Maybe like filters, for example, because graphene can bring really good for filtering, like the salt water, for example. But I want to focus on the material in the future. For example, the digital, as I mentioned, digital products. So we did some testing with the graphene material, which has high electric conductivity. So we did some already digital experiments in our DUI setup. And it worked. There was like really electric conductivity. So we believe that, like, for example, these smart wearables is the future of the textile, because I think that the textile industry is one of those that wasn't digitalized yet so far. So, and I think the revolution will come with the digitalization, with the like, we can set up colors on our mobile phones, for example, and this kind of stuff, or we can heat up our jacket just through a mobile and this type. So yeah, so I want to be centric on the material, on the research and development, but the products are also important. Like, let's say Apple, for example, in this way, you want to focus, like, to bring the most beautiful and design and products to the market. I hope I answered your question.
That was all the questions I had. Yeah. Thank you. Super interesting and really cool. Like, it's cool to see as well that you built the company so early, given like the graphene developments. So that's really cool.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Henriette. Okay, we have three questions on the chat. So from Claire Kent, does the graphene coating eventually wear off through washing?
Yeah. This is something I already said before. We had also, of course, we had to do some testing. There is like no degreasing, so it can withstand up to right now up to 60 cycles of washing machine or for the washing. So for the jacket and pants, it's like perfect because you basically wash the jacket for 2 or 3 times a year. And for the t-shirt, yeah, we have to focus on that. I think 60 cycles is not that bad, and there's like a small decreasing after that. So it's not like after 60 cycles it will like disappear all the material, but it will like a little bit decrease. So we can decrease also the properties, but we will work on that. I think we can reach up to 150 cycles with like no decreasing. So we'll still work on that. Yeah, it's in the process.
Okay, interesting. Thank you so much.
Sorry, could I ask a follow-up question on that? Is that
Yes,
okay?
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just wondering, like, does it need to really be that washable? Just think, because if you use like merino wool, that's like breathable and kind of cleanses itself, right? So does the graphene application kind of take away that property from the wool?
No,
Like, so
exactly.
you could air the product as opposed to wash it and just instruct the customer on that?
Well, for the full wool example, it's mainly for the mechanical resistance of the wool, because the wool is really thin and it breaks a lot after wearing. So we want to bring the mechanical resistance, but it's not like disappearing the properties of wool. It's like enhancing them. It's much better. What we already tested. So from the feedback and from the testing, like laboratory and also in the outdoor, we enhance the properties, and also the mechanical resistance is the best thing for the wool. And and in the crowdfunding campaign, there was really huge the interest from the people, mainly for the wool, because it's like also the game changing for the, like many people really love the wool, merino wool, and there is no solving for in the market right now. So yeah, it's not like decreasing the properties, it's enhancing them on the other hand.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's one more question. Have you considered producing for the big brands, either on the license or as a supplier, to generate additional revenues?
Yeah, we didn't think about it yet, as we want to build the products by ourselves. We don't do like sell the license or sell the patent license. Maybe in the future it will be necessary to scale the business. It might be a way, but I don't think we will do it in the near future. So it's not like actual thing we want to do in the near future. We already had some offers to do it, but we dismissed it. So we didn't want to do it right now.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, this was the final pitch for tonight. So thank you everyone for joining today, and congratulations again to the presenters. I hope everyone enjoyed the event. I will be sharing the attendees list to everyone, and the pitch decks and the recording in a couple of days. And a big thank you to the board members, Rebecca, Rohan, and Henriette for the feedback and for the time. And usually I like to do like a round table of if you have some last comment to say before we finish the session. So Henriette, would you like to say a few words at the end?
No, I guess like overall, like 2 very interesting companies, quite different focus areas, and I think they were really well prepared. So all kudos to them.
Yes, thank you. Great. It was great to have you. Hopefully see you again on the next event. Thank you, Henriette. And Rebecca?
Sure, no, I agree. Very, very good companies, very good preparation. I think it's always a smart idea as well to take advantage of opportunities and events like these to, practice the pitch and get some feedback, get some new kind of additional or other perspectives and points of views. I think it makes you think about some things you might have not have thought about before. It shows a bit what some people might be interested in hearing when you pitch next. So I think it's always a good idea to take advantage of these, and I think it's great that you guys organize them. So yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks to the startups for pitching. Super nice.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for joining. See you soon again. All right. And Rohan, would you like to say a few words at the end?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for having me again. And yeah, two very different companies, different verticals, but quite big markets growing, and they have they will show good traction. So I think that I wish them the best of luck with the fundraise. I hope they were able to secure the money they need to scale. And yeah, look forward to seeing them in 5 to 10 years as global leaders in their respective fields.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, have a very good night, everyone, and see you soon again. Bye-bye. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.